Well, it looks like his fate has changed in a big way. Whose fate? That kitten's, of course. What? Wait, what? These long, lonely 10 years, you were my one and only friend. How about it? Do you remember now? Old friend. I think I finally remember. 10 years ago, I was a little kid and I wandered into this park. I was weak and all alone in the world. Somebody please look at me. Huh? Oh, a kitten. Shoo, you might get hurt. Somebody please reach a hand out to me. I had only just died at the time. I had lost everything, my life, my memory. My body wouldn't move anymore, but I still managed to reach out a hand to him. The next thing I knew, my soul had transferred into the black kitten. With no recollection of who I was, I lived as a cat with you for a while. After a while, the man regained his memory. I went back to being just a cat, and then the man got his body back. I took my body back from the morgue. There was somebody I just had to go see. Just one more time. I took control of my body and hurried to her house. But I was just a little too late. I had just missed her as she left this world. She left me a note that said, "I'm coming to you, Yomiel." The man named me Sissel. It was the name of something important he had just lost, along with his life. His fiancée. He told me about it once, but I didn't understand what it was. Those 10 years were very happy for me, but they weren't happy for the man, and there was nothing I could do for him. For 10 years I wandered through the darkness with no particular place to go. As time passed, my powers gradually changed. At first I could only manipulate small creatures and objects, but then after a while I could manipulate people. That's when the darkness inside me deepened and I started to get a little twisted. I wanted light. Distorted, artificial light. When I got my revenge on Lynn, I would see that light, or at least that's what I tried to believe. I left my old self buried in that junkyard and walked away. The Black Cat. I was possessing Sissel then. It wouldn't look very much like a murder if the corpse just got up and walked away after all. So you buried the body of your old friend? Sissel was inside that bag I was carrying tonight. I had no intention of leaving my friend behind in this country when I left. But then, when I went to possess his body, I realized something horrible. What was that? Sissel, there inside the bag, was dead. I wasn't able to control her completely. The first bullet didn't hit anything. Or so I thought. But it did hit something, didn't it? It hit Sissel inside that bag. Yes, that's when I lost my life, right there in the presence of the Temsic radiation. And that's how he got his ghost powers, just like Sissel. And that's when I got my powers of the dead, my ghost tricks. I think I understand it now. Why I was the only one who couldn't get his memory back. It was because I thought that corpse was me. It was the only corpse I could see at the time after all. But as it turns out, it wasn't the only dead body. My true death was hidden just behind that corpse. Now that I think about it, do you remember what you said? That you knew all along about me saving Lynn tonight? If you knew, why didn't you try and stop me? It's simple. Because I couldn't, even if I wanted to. Huh? Why not? Remember the thing about individual differences in the powers we get? I can control all kinds of things, from the living to the dead, but even so, there are some things that you can do that I can't. You mean? I can't even rewind time, let alone change the fate of a death. If I could do those things, I would have saved your life. Not only that, but I never would have let my fiancé stay dead like that. But you're here 10 years in the past now. That's thanks to your powers. Yeah, exactly. That's happened all night tonight. Holy shit! There's a lot going on here. I'll talk more about it later on, but yeah, it's... damn. In any case, now that the starting point of this entire tragedy has changed dramatically, altering fate. The fate of your death, the kid in Sissel's fate, and I can just bet you the fate of the woman you have loved has changed too. Yes, I believe you're right. So this is the last fate to be averted, eh? Fate averted. For the last time. So Yomiel, it looks like your plan for revenge ended in failure. Yes, and I'm glad too. I think I kind of understand now what you've been feeling this 10 years. She understood. She shed tears for me. That's when my revenge was over. She saved me from the darkness. It all comes back to Lynn, I guess. Well, I guess it's time we got back. A new 10 years later was just born. Right, we should get back to our new present. I can't wait to see Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla again! So these past 10 years will now all vanish. Well, not completely. The memories of all of us will remain, including the memories of what I did, my crime. That's the way this game of death works, eh? And no matter the reason, there's no denying the fact that I took Lynn hostage and tried to point a gun at her. I have no intention of running away from that either. The most inexcusable crime in my life. Hey, Sissel? Yes? When we go back, our fates will no longer be interconnected. It'll be like we never met. So before that happens, I just wanted to say one thing. Tonight, I stole away your life from my own hands. I'm truly sorry. That's already a thing of the lost past. Our fates have changed now, right, Yomiel? Everyone's so nice to him, despite everything he's done. I'm so very glad I met you. Me too, Yomiel. Sissel! Are we ever going to see each other again? I couldn't stand it if we weren't. Don't worry, Missile, I bet we'll go see each other again someday. 10 years from now, our paths are sure to cross. We'll just have to wait until then. Sissel, I'll never forget you! I'll never forget you either, valiant little doggy. Well, it looks like you came to live with me now. So let's be getting home, little black cat. Home, huh? That sounds good, Detective Jowd. We all witnessed the birth of a new beginning, and now we're each going back to our new present. We're each going back to our new present. We said goodbye to the parts of our stories that would be lost, believing that someday our paths would all cross again. Who's this? Before we go back to a new present, I wanted to say thank you. Oh, it's Ray! Man, we haven't seen this guy. Wait, what? Oh, it's you! But yeah, we haven't seen Ray since the beginning of the game. Thanks to you, everything has turned out as I hoped. I am really grateful to you, Sissel. Thank you. But don't forget, I was only on a journey to find my own lost memory. Yes, I know that. I know all about you. Can I ask you a question, Ray? I want to know, who exactly are you? Fair enough. I will tell you. Let me tell you another version of tonight's events. Okay. You changed the fates of many people tonight. The first of which was hers. Ouch. And yes, we saved Lynn's life many times tonight. If you had not been there for her tonight, her fate would have been to die in that lonely spot on the outskirts of town. If that had occurred, what do you suppose would have happened? Let me tell you a story. The story of a little creature. Okay. After they stole her life that night, they broke into her apartment. Yes, we saw this too. This guy killed... Okay. Right, okay. They stole the wooden box from the ceiling hiding place and left. And in the process, they killed both Camilla and our little hero. Those assassins are brutal. It's good that we were here. However, the little fellow's spirit lived on. He desperately reached out his paw towards his mistress. And that's when a miracle occurred. Well, look at that, the powers of the dead, but how? He didn't really understand it himself. Not yet, anyway. But with all you know now, I bet you understand it, do you not? Yeah, right, because he was close to Yomiel when he died, so... the exact same way that we got our powers. Yep. Talk about a twist of fate. He died inside the aura of that strange energy. But unfortunately, with his meager powers, he was unable to save his little mistress. There just wasn't anything he could do with only the power to swap objects. He needed the power of manipulation in order to save the little lady. The little fellow chased after the men, but there still wasn't anything he could do. And he wound up all the way in the bottom of the ocean, really. And then, he went back. He went back to the world of 10 years before, to the moment of the man in red's death. What? He decided to wait it out. He decided to wait until that night came again. And that's the other version of the story of this night. A story that has taken these 10 years to be retold. So that was you, huh? Yep, it's an old missile. I'm Missile. 10 years is a very long time in dog years. You couldn't change the fate of these people on your own, so you decided to wait those 10 years out. Damn, that's dedication. But aren't ghosts meant to disappear at morning? I actually forget what the rules are with that, so I hope they explain it. Exactly, and then at last, that fateful night rolled around again. There he is. By this time I had grown old and my powers were weak, so I decided to find somebody to help me this time around. And he just so happened to run into us. Somebody who possessed different powers than me. But wait a second. You were able to manipulate the death lamp. Over the course of the long years my powers changed. My ability to swap objects weakened, but I became able to manipulate small objects. Okay. Because I couldn't. From watching the man in red, I found out there were individual differences in our powers. I couldn't do anything of the things that he could do, like travel through the telephone lines, for example. That's interesting. But to be honest, I suppose that makes sense. Like, I've never saw Missile travel through the telephone lines, it's always been us. Yeah, definitely. But there's something I don't understand. You knew from the very beginning that I had that power. How'd you know so much about me? Why wouldn't I? After all, we had met before in the night for the first time around. What? Wait, what? Lost her life, yeah. I followed the ghost world past to the junkyard and came upon an incredible scene. Imagine, if you will, there in darkness a twisting and sniveling death lamp. It made my first stand on the end, I can tell you. That was me? So I was shot on that night, the first time around as well. Interesting. You had lost your memory that time too. You had just died and you felt confused. You declined to cooperate with me. I did what? I just want to find my own lost memory. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. That's what you said. Okay, so the first time around, we were there too, but we didn't want to work with him. Away over the telephone line, and that's how he knew. Weird. I'm really sorry I didn't help you. That's why I decided that this time, I would use that desire of yours to our mutual advantage. Mutual advantage? The only thing you were interested in was finding your own lost memory. If I could guide you along to the right path to doing that, we would both benefit. And namely, the right path would be the path to the man in red, to Yomiel. What? I gave you the information you needed to set you in the right direction, and then I gave you a time limit. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes perfect sense, okay. That also explains why Yomiel's around as well. So that time limit thing was just complete bullshit, basically. Ah. This entire time Sissel was really worried about that. But yeah, he did, he really gotcha. I suppose that makes sense too. Damn it, Missile! And now it's time to say farewell. These past 10 years will cease to exist, and with them, so will I. I believed in you. I always knew you could do it. And so you did. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Missile? So you waited and waited these 10 long years. All for the sake of your two little ladies, Lynn and Camilla, right? Of course, because that's what doggies do. Now then, farewell, Sissel. Goodbye, Missile. And so the story of a single night came to an end. Nobody but us knew what had really happened in this town tonight. I made my way back to a new present. Huh? How come it's dark? I'll just turn the lights on here. Were you surprised? You bet I was. You nearly scared me to death. I think Linda's died enough tonight. But it's not even my birthday today. It was my mom's birthday the day before yesterday. I made the surprise for her, but it came out so well I wanted to use it again. Hey, Jowd. That's alright, Lynn. After all, we're celebrating the birth of your new position as detective, right? Really? Thank you, Detective Jowd. Dad, you're home. Hi, Camilla. Let me introduce you. This is Lynn. She was just assigned to the detective division today. Hi, Camilla. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Lynn, congratulations on becoming a detective. Huh? Is something wrong? You have one of those badges too. Oh, this, yeah. I have one just like it. My dad gave it to me the other day. Yours looks a lot older than mine, though. How long are you going to keep wearing that toy badge, Lynn? What's wrong with it? To me, this is a symbol of a real detective. That's sweet. It's been 10 years since then, hasn't it? Who would have guessed you'd actually become a detective one day? When you gave me this badge, I just knew. I knew it was my destiny somehow. Destiny, eh? And now that I'm a detective, I'll find out where that destiny will lead me. That you will. That you will. I guess they were right, yeah, and then we all came back together. That's pretty cool. Oh, hello, didn't tell me you're the same little kitten. That's right, the very one. You know what? This is a very, very special cat. He's 10 years old, but he's still a kitten. Still a kitten? Yup, he never got any bigger or anything. Weird. I know, right? His name is Sissel. Sissel. Seems to me I've heard that name somewhere before. I think Sissel likes you, Lynn. Oh, her mom's here too. Alright everyone, let's start the celebration. Okay, Mom. That's right, yeah, because this is the future where Yomiel didn't kill us, so they're all together. I bet you're just like me. Your destiny led you here somehow too. You got that right. And so we meet again, Sissel! Ah, she knows. From just that single night as a human, I got a glimpse into their world, and I learned something. Their fates, their lives, they were all interconnected. Somewhere, somehow, in some way. And now this is my new fate. Man, they sure love their chicken. I guess I really am a cat. It suits me just fine to curl up and watch the strange and beautiful patterns of their world. And it looks like I'll have plenty to watch here for quite a while. And there we go, guys! That is the end of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. And yeah, what one hell of a final episode. Hey, Cabanella! And Missile too. Man. Happy birthday to our lovely Lynn. Like I said, this is my birthday. If Missile says it's your birthday, then it's your birthday, Lynn. But birthdays are for celebrating together with friends and loved ones. Nothing like it, baby. Alright, I'm gonna let this play out for a bit and just kind of talk about a couple of things. But yeah, I always like how these sorts of games always have these like ending scenes with all the different characters. Like Ace Attorney does it too, and it's great. But yeah, the final episode reveals a lot of different things. Turns out that we were actually Yomiel's cat the entire time. That's the reason why... What is this guy doing? But that's the reason, like, we don't know what a lot of things are and why we can't read. And, kind of like replaying this game again with that knowledge is really cool because I could see those things and point them out. Well, point them out to myself. I didn't want to spoil it for you guys, but yeah, I think it is really, really cool that they do that. And this LP was overall very interesting for me to do. This is going to sound kind of weird, but I actually forgot just how much dialogue was in this game. Like, it's a visual novel, so I should have remembered that, but I just didn't, so... By the time that I got to about episode, like, 6 or 7, I was kind of getting sick of it. At the same time, I was doing Bioshock 2, where I could just ramble and talk about all sorts of different things. But in this game, I had to kind of read and react to the dialogue, which is a very different experience, like a completely different commentary style. And it did take me a while to get into it. Eventually I did, and I ended up really liking it because it's pretty easy for me to record. Yeah, it was definitely a different experience for me, and a good learning experience, I think. And also the fact that this game is one that I like half remember was also really cool too, because there were plenty of things that I just did not remember at all, and really, really caught me by surprise. And there were other things that of course I knew and were trying to like hide from you guys so you wouldn't know them either, but yeah. I think this is the first like visual novel style game that I've ever done, which I think is cool too, because I really like that genre, so finally doing it on the channel is really great. Anyway, my god, the curry guy got out. Oh, I suppose he wouldn't have been put in jail in the first place. Why is the curry guy at a chicken restaurant? Unless they serve chicken curry. Maybe. But yeah, what else can I mention? The stuff about like Yomiel is also pretty interesting because even though like he spent the first like 15 chapters or whatever being a complete dick, there's actually like a really, really good reason for it because of all the shit he's been through the last 10 years and his fiancée killing herself because she wanted to be with him. Like, that would have just tore the guy apart, and it really kind of... It does a good job, I think, of actually making you kind of forget all the evil shit he's done because he has had an incredibly rough life, so you can kind of sympathize with him. Wow. Who knew there was that much money in the chicken kitchen? I hope he doesn't go to jail for that. But yeah, like along with that, I like how the game does the different intertwining stories with like, you know, Lynn, Jowd, and Cabanella, and then you have like the, these guys, just gonna talk about them. And you have like, you know, Sissel tagging along, and then you have all the Yomiel stuff, and then the assassins. Even like the police officers are really good. Like, that's another thing about this game, is that the, like, dialogue and the writing is really fantastic. But yeah, not much else to really say about this project. So before I head off, I'll talk a little bit about what my plans are for the future. I went over this in StarCraft already, but just like a quick recap, I'm planning to do 3 series after this. One's going to be a co-op series with a friend of mine, who I haven't done a series with before, and it's going to be pretty fun, I think. I won't say what the game is, but it's a very comedic game, and they have never played it before and I have, so it should be a good experience. I'm also planning to continue an old series of mine. Once again, not going to say what it is, but it's a series which I really, really enjoyed and I've been planning to do for a while now, so I'm kind of glad to be getting back to that. And the third thing, I haven't really decided yet. It's just going to be a regular LP, and I've had a couple of games in mind, but something which I just remembered the other day is that Pyre is actually coming out next month. For those who don't know, Pyre is the third game by the Bastion and Transistor guys, and those are two games which I absolutely love, and I've done LPs of both. So I reckon that as soon as Pyre comes out, I'm going to LP that right away. The question is, because it's coming out on the 27th of July, I think, so the question is, should I do like another game in the meantime, like something short, or just wait until then and do my other two series in the meantime? I'm not quite sure yet. I might see if I can do a short game, but I've also been really busy with work, so maybe I'll just do the other two and then get to Pyre when it comes out. But yes, I am very, very interested to play that. Pyre is a game that does look very interesting. It's this weird mix actually of like a sports and a choose your own adventure game, so I'm very interested to see that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to mention. So guys, thank you all for watching my LP of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. I hope you all enjoyed the adventure, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Oh my god. So that's where he wound up. 10 long years, Yomiel, your time's up today. The young lady who always comes to visit you is waiting outside. So who was he drawing? Thank you, Sissel.